All right. Let's see. Does this? Okay.
All right, I can hear good. All right. I gotta set my phone up right here because I. All right, so this is a game I was playing on my daily. This is a daily game. Me and Nigel have been playing. I'll show you guys the first move, just kind of the setup. So, I did opt for a weird opening on this one. I don't remember why. Oh no, I'm black. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. So I did still go weird because normally I would play. Normally I'd go Karakhan, right, and I'd respond on that immediately following. So yeah, not perfect play, but you know it is what it is. So yeah, I would normally opt for this here. But I saw his king approach, and I was like, okay, you know what? I always end up in the same position at the first, 7 moves with this fucking opening. I get tired of it. So I like to advance my knight, in an attempt to kind of thwart some of these plans. So, his only option is really here and here. And, if he's here, respond with this. And, you're good. So that's the general idea. Wondering why it's different. Because he went down rather than here. Normally he'd go here, and that's where you'd. Like it's, I don't know. I think I misunderstood that because now I'm looking back. Anyway, so yeah. So he advances the F pawn. Cool. I respond with the D pawn to block that and prevent him from moving any closer. And classic. Now we have this kind of formation going where it's, down the diagonal. Dude, get it straight, bro. Yeah, so anyway, so that's the response. So I take, because I'm like, fuck it, why not? Because I can take here, which is what happens. So he attacks me here. I think I go queen here to defend. I do. Okay, yeah, and he responds with the queen, or the knight. I think I take. I do not. Okay, oh, I just realized I can see over here too. So let's see. So I respond with this. He responds with the knight. Okay, and I don't. Oh, just to avoid danger. Although, I think this is a bad move because, and I'm going to get to an actual match here in a second. I haven't played any, so I'm just kind of warming up my brain. I think it's a bad move because while I am under attack, I have a clean attack on him, right? And I'm also defending this piece at the same time. So I'm under attack 2 ways, but it's my move. So, by taking, he can take, and that's an even trade. And I'm kind of in a position to just kind of hold some control there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's bad. So I decide to slide over here. I don't like that move just because he takes, I take. It's fair, right? But if shit, what was I gonna say? He could go here. Then I'd be fucked. There's a reason I don't like this move, and I can't think of why. Again, just got here, right? Oh, I don't like this move because he gets a free knight, right? Because I can't respond. Because what? Where am I gonna get him from? And then look at I do have better pawn structure, but I'm at a significant disadvantage in development because he has the opportunity. He has, what's the word I'm looking for? Functional development, whereas I don't. I have two functionally developable pieces. So anyway, that's why I don't like that move. But that's what we did. So he leaves. Nope. What are we talking about? What the fuck did I do here? Why did I do that? That's definitely a strange move. So I went here, and he responds with. Dude. Okay. Is that actually what happened? He moved that there? So, yeah. Okay, so I move here. He moves bishop here. I see. And I saw that coming, so I was like, fuck it. I don't have the appropriate opportunity, so I was like, damn, can I? But I threw my queen. All I did was put a check, and I didn't do anything, right? So I think that was a complete waste. So he takes. So now I'm down a knight and a queen. Well, I'm not down a queen. He also does not have a queen. But you know, it just wasn't a good move, and I see that now. I don't know why I did that. So I was like, damn, I got to get ahead in developing by blocking my bishop in. But I didn't want to go here because it's just not good for me in any real way. I mean, I guess I could go here, and that would be my best bet. You know, but after that, takes, I guess. You lose a bishop, which I'd take a bishop over knight any day, but yep. So I'm just kind of reviewing. Why did I do that? Oh, because I wanted to prepare myself so I could put pressure on him and hopefully run him off. Right here. What was I planning? Was I hoping to go here? And go here for check? Yeah, I might have been hoping for here, check. And maybe advancing this pawn to take, opening up my rook for that file. I don't know exactly. Let's see. He opens up his rook. So I advance my pawn. Like I said. I think that was the plan. He took nothing. But he did go on this semi-inactive square. Again, blocking my piece. I mean, it's not active right now, but still. I guess it's defense, you know, if you want to call it that. And he attacks my rook, which is unfortunate. It's that move. Gotta hide it. Advances his pawn, and I thought to myself, well, damn, I don't remember why I thought this, but at the time I thought, damn, I'm really setting up a fucking attack on this guy, you know. In my head, I'm cooking here. I remember being like, oh, dude, he just moved his pawn. He's fucking wasting time. But I do like the next move. I advance his pawn. And I like that move because I have this rook on this file that when I take, assuming I can, which if we look at it, he doesn't have a safe square. That's not safe. That's definitely not safe because pawn. That's not safe because rook. That's not safe because pawn. That is safe. But I advance the pawn and it's the same situation. So yeah, he has right here and right here. So these are his two safe squares. And either way, it doesn't really stop me too much. Because I was going to go knight and take anyway. So that was the idea. That was at least the thought process. So let's see what happens here. He advances his pawn. That I found strange. I remember it took how many days for that move? It took 16 hours. Or 13 hours. Right? And in my thought process here, I had already mapped this out right in my head. I said, hey, I'm going to take this. You know, he's going to respond with rook. That was my thought. And that's actually what played out here, which I was proud to say. So yeah, so I took that knight, opening up my rook, now pinning the knight to this, knowing that I'm about to win another knight because it's pinned, right? He can't do shit about it. So I could, assuming that this is how it remained and he did something fucking like this, let's just play a move to get it out of the way. I could do this, right? And now I have a great spot set up because no matter what, takes, still protected. And we're putting the queen or the king in a bad spot. He can go here. I mean, this isn't off limits, but you know, we'll move here, whatever. So we'll see. So we had opportunities. My additional idea prior to this pawn getting pushed was, let's say that I wanted to go ahead and put him in check. All right, forcing him to move, whatever. And I also thought I need to get this knight moving. So let's say he moves here. I'm gonna move. Well, I could move him here, but I can't actually because that rook. I mean, I could take takes, but I don't love that. Just because at that point, you know, we've got two rooks or two bishops. I have two rooks. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm up, but not my time. So anyway, so that was the last move. I knew he was gonna move here, and I haven't made my move yet. And I think I'm gonna take. Yeah, it opens the file, but I mean, at what cost? You know, if he pushes this free, he could go bishop here in the next move. It would be futile, man, because that's my spot. So even if he takes this, right? Oh no, takes. Goes here, takes. Right, and we don't have a knight to worry about where I have to watch from this fucking side spot. So, yeah. But what I'm thinking is I've got some digestion here, man. I got some digestion that's pretty, and I got to do an infiltrator here, right? So that's the spot we're in. You know, we want to clear that up. So not a fan of that, and that's what we're here to address. So, what move do we want to make? Again, I mean, look. Here's my thought process. I leave this here. He takes because why not? Let's say I move this. Oh, I know that obviously this would now open him up to move. I'm just making a move to demonstrate here. Fuck it, we'll do this. There we go. He takes. Now what? Right? I wasted a move. I mean, maybe, right? Doesn't help him too much, but it doesn't. It also doesn't help me too much either. So, I think taking is my best. I hate to open the file. I do have some protection. Trying to think ahead here too, right? Like, what can he do to get himself in a position where he's safe? He can't go anywhere here right now. He can go here. Actually, no, he can't. Right? Because here. So, yeah, he can go there. That's his safe square. And he can go here, but one push and he's cooked. Right? So that's probably not the best move. So, yeah. That's his spot. It's the only move he's got after takes. I mean, and that would be ridiculous, right? Not to take, because now look, he could take. Actually, so I mean, it's not that deep. And look, I'm still completely inactive with two of my most important pieces. I would say definitely ill-advised, though. This is probably where I'd go next to open up that congestion and also give myself an opportunity. And attacking me would be ridiculous, right? That's free. So, probably wouldn't do that. Best bet would be to hide your bishop. Well, fuck. Hide him up here. Sure. Sure wish I had a queen right now. Even then, right? I'm taking. Taking. Can't attack me from here. He can attack me from here. In which case, I would not trade the rook for the bishop. I would not want to be at that loss. I'd just move. There you go. Good spot. Takes. Okay. Now we're on the same side here, boys. It's a good spot. Probably double up here. Don't really love any of that. Ah, yeah, bad move. I'm sorry. Is there something blocking me? Oh, it says move. Nice. Probably saved my rook if I was doing something. Oh my gosh. That if he did that shit, I'd just take, bro. And here we are at a position that's totally lost. You're done. Yeah, that's where we're at. I think I'm gonna take. I don't see any other good move other than, like I said, attacking and potentially getting attacked and losing my knight in exchange for a bishop, which I'll do. No problem. I'll take that. Boom. But I lose the rook or the pawn. But you know, it's almost a thought of like, okay, this is a great attack, and let's kind of weigh something. This is a new thought for me, right? A new thought for me as a very low elo chess player. The worth of pieces in tactic, right? Like the whole idea of having this pawn here, the whole reason I want this pawn and I want to protect it is and the reason I would rather make my move and gain a knight, right? Let's write this down. I'll gain a knight from this attack by playing this next move as pawn takes knight on f3. I gain a knight, and that's good. So that's my idea. But let's imagine this move, right? I can do this, and he can either take the pawn and lose a bishop, in which case I'm up a bishop over a knight, and I'd rather be up a bishop over a knight. Additionally, his position isn't, I mean, it's mildly threatening, I would say. I wouldn't say that I'm in extreme danger. He has a hard time currently getting this knight somewhere that is going to be extremely beneficial to his position while still enabling this rook. So I think that it's a bad spot for me. Maybe I'd rather him not be there, but I'm not extremely concerned about that. So that's a thought. But that's only one option, right? That's only if he takes the so that's a benefit. I would say that I'd be coming up on this play. If we played it out this way, if I decided to move the knight here instead and risk the take, and let's say he doesn't take, and rather he uses the rook to take this pawn, I would say that me taking this bishop is up. I'd be up points on that because I still have 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and a knight, where he has 1 knight and 1 bishop at that point, and then 2 rooks, right? So he's down a knight, or he's down a 1 bishop from my position. 2 bishops. No, 1 bishop. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So I'd rather have that than 1 knight. But that's only one way it plays out. The alternative is, rather than him taking, right, he takes my knight, and I take his bishop and stack my pawns. I double my pawns on this thing. Now my file's open, right, and I'm not too worried because these pawns are not protected in any way. I mean, he could slide this back over, and it wouldn't be very helpful. Or he can take first, I can take, and then he can try to respond in some way over here. But I don't think that that's going to be the most beneficial for him either. So the question is this up, right? Is this a better outcome to take that and lose my pawn? Am I up? We still have a bishop, a knight, and 2 rooks. I still have 2 bishops and 2 rooks. So I'm down a knight and up a bishop. And points wise, that would be equivalent, but personally, I prefer the bishop over the knight. I think the knight's great, but if I had to trade a piece, I'd trade the knight over the bishop. Additionally, right, we got to think, okay, well, now that I've doubled my pawns, is that enough of a negative outcome of this whole thing to concern myself? right? What's his next move, or what's mine? You know, takes. Now I'm in check, so I probably wouldn't do that. Probably wouldn't move my pawn. But the question still remains: what is my move? You know, I can move here. Takes. Right. Well, he can't. Excuse me, because rook on this file, so that's okay. So yeah, rook on this file, so I can do that. And then what would my next move be? It'd be, you know, he plays. Sure. This actually wouldn't be too bad. If he played that shit, I'd be happy with that, because now I'm back undoubled, and I've developed my rook, which was previously disabled, and I've opened up my bishop too. So I just don't know enough about chess yet to make a determination and say, you know what, that's a much better position for me. I prefer it, because I don't know. I would say I could distinguish between the first two options. So yeah, that's a question, and you know, if you're in the chat, dude, definitely drop an answer on that if you know, because I don't. I do think that, you know, he can't take, so fuck, I don't know, dude. He's not really a good spot. Let's go there. Right here. Can't move. Takes. Still cooked. Right? That's the answer there. And I'd prefer that all day. I'd prefer that. Okay. Yeah. You know, there's options, I guess. And that was the result of what? Sacking that pawn and opening up this rook. So that's a thought, man. That's a thought to keep in my head. Do I sack the rook, or do I sack the pawn and open up the rook? Assuming that it plays like that. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't play like that, then I'm simply have a bishop. Maybe all he does is move out the way. In which case I take. But I lose my knight. But now he's down 2 knights and a bishop as well. And that is the result of playing the knight move. And I think that the knight opens this up and has the opportunity to open this up. And it could potentially not even change my attacking ideas on this anyway, because the rook is here. So thoughts and opinions. I'm gonna go play a little bit of Siege with my buddy, but you know what, I intended to play some matches, but he got home a little sooner than I thought he would, so we're gonna go play some Siege real quick. So appreciate you sitting here for 25 minutes. I'll stream a little bit tonight, but see you guys. Send me a message also on chess.com if you have, well, don't tell me any moves. Of course, that's cheating. We don't want that. We don't want no moves. But like in regards to what I said of and being new to chess and how do you determine that kind of thing, that would be advice.